For the battered but proud people of the Empire State, from the financial and entertainment epicenter of New York City to the sleeping and empty small cities and towns of upstate, which once bustled with manufacturing, mining, and farming. We all know from inspiration, history, and nature, we deserve a return to the success and growth of generations past, a birthright being squandered by corruption in Albany, and the depredations of an insecure, scheming mountebank posing as governor, who loathes both us and himself. As liberty beckoned to enslaved peoples behind the Iron Curtain via American broadcasts after World War II, we now say, believe, rise, and join us. Welcome to Radio Free New York.
Hey guys, welcome to Radio Free New York. I'm your host, Andrew Hollister, and we have Kevin Wilson with us.
Hello.
Hey Kevin, how's it going?
Oh, it's going all right. I still got my Facebook, so, living large over here.
Yeah. Kevin and I were talking about just before the show started that, I used to get a lot of my news through my Facebook feed, and now that I don't have it, I'm gonna have to actually go out and search for news. Maybe I'm gonna. What do you think, Kevin? Should I get a newspaper? Should I have newspaper delivered to the house?
No, I feel like that's not in line with the type of tech. Like, you can get news aggregators, and they'll just send push notifications to your phone all the time, so you're constantly bombarded with news that Google thinks you want to hear. That's the future.
So instead of Facebook notifications, I'll just get fake news notifications.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Same thing.
Yep. Yeah, those of you who are joining us here on the show, if you missed yesterday's show, Facebook has kicked me off. I am not on Facebook anymore. They permanently deactivated my account. Did a whole entire show about it yesterday. So if you want to know about it, know what that means, what happened, the whole everything, definitely check out yesterday's show. Jump on YouTube and search Andrew C. Hollister. Pull up the show from yesterday, and you can hear all about it. So,
yeah, got that permanent. You can always go on Twitter. That's an option.
I could go on Twitter. I should spend more time on Twitter. I do acknowledge that.
No, you should. It's terrible, but you could.
Yeah. Then who knows? Maybe Twitter will kick me off too.
Only a matter of time.
Yeah. No, for sure. So, we could talk about libertarian things real quick if you want to mention the convention that happened over the weekend. I don't know if you want to, just in case anybody's listening who may or may not be interested in that, we can talk about that before we talk about Cuomo.
Yeah, sure. So, the Monroe County Libertarian Party had their convention over the weekend, and as many of you probably know, I was the chair for the last 3 years, and the 2 years before that, I was vice chair, but often acted as the chair. And now I'm done with that, at least for now. We have a new chair, Dr. Steve Becker, who's been a guest on this show before. He is a candidate for Assembly in the 136. So he's the new chair of the Monroe County Libertarian Party. I'm done. There you
go. But it's not because you don't like the party. It's because you put in your time. It's time for some retirement. You can tell. Kevin's looking like he's ready for retirement.
Yeah, at the ripe old age of 30, I think I've earned my retirement. I felt like it was time to have new leadership step up. Plus, I don't talk about it a lot on this show, but I am running for Congress in the 25th district, and I kind of want to focus a bit on that.
Yeah, totally understandable. Which you've been doing a lot with that. And one of these days, we should just sit down and go through your entire platform so that people can hear more about it and see if that's something they're interested in. I think they would be.
I'd like to think so. Yeah. Well, that's the plan anyway, right? Maybe we'll do a whole show on that. I know there's broader issues. This show is bigger than me, and it's not about this campaign or anything. So we're trying to educate folks on bigger principles that I think that this entire audience is interested in. But that's part of what I'm doing is I am running this year, so to give people a third choice in the 25th district, and we talk about it occasionally.
Yeah, we've got a couple other candidates running too in the area, right? You want to name off?
Let's put them. So I said Dr. Steve Becker, he's running in the 136. Mark Legowski is running in the 139th Assembly District. We've also cross-endorsed a couple candidates. Peter Vasquez, who has also been on this show, is running in the 138th, where I live. And we've also cross-endorsed. We had a primary for county court judge. Meredith Vaca won that line, who's been on this show. She was on last year when she was running for Supreme Court. And then we have, who do we have? Elena Carriola, who's running for circuit court. Is that the position? Yep. That sounds right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we've got Dwayne Whitmer too.
And Dwayne Whitmer, who was on Friday, of course. Which that show, folks, guys, I'm sorry, that show was a mess.
No, what happened?
My internet cut out when I was going into the second segment.
Oh no, was Dwayne all by himself? Like
he was all by himself. It's okay. You know, Dwayne, we love Dwayne. Dwayne can just carry on the conversation, and he just kept going. And then Bob D'Angelo, our producer, hopped in and kind of kept it going a little bit while I reconnected.
Oh, that's awesome. So you must have been in the office then, if you lost it.
No, I wasn't. I was actually at home.
Okay.
Very rarely does the internet go out at my home. In the office, it happens way more often. I'm in the office today. But no, it went out in the home. So like I was gone for most of the second segment. Oh,
there you go.
It happens. We made it through. Again, Dwayne's a pro. He just went on. He kept talking about how Governor Cuomo was destroying businesses because he's an accountant. So how Governor Cuomo is destroying businesses and making it difficult for people to operate. And that's a good segue into what we want to talk about in the first half of this show. Is Governor Cuomo, his new restrictions on bars, which includes no cornhole, no dancing, no fun, no smiling. I made up about half of those, but really though, the no cornhole, no like bar games. Can't do darts or pool, but dancing we're in the footloose state now. You cannot dance in bars anymore. It is not allowed.
So let me ask this. I mean, Cuomo is making just making up these rules, right? As he goes. I think of all the games that you could play, cornhole is a pretty good social distancing game, right? And so is darts, right? Like, am I wrong here? Am I missing something?
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly contact sports, right? Like, you can stand 6 feet apart on the same side of cornhole, right? And then you're, what's it, like 15 feet apart? I have no idea how far cornhole is. I'm really bad at it. But, you're not close to folks, right? So why couldn't you play cornhole? There's no reason to do that. I mean, I guess you're touching the beanbags, but just like you're touching anything else, just don't touch your face. And if you're up and standing, right, and you need to wear, mask or something while you're not, drinking your beer, then fine. And that's the other thing. You can't be up and around, moving around still, which is, it is what it is. But, bars are... Actually, it's funny. I'm reading this article from, the Albany Bureau of the Democrat Chronicle, and says, bars are open, fun is limited. Literally how it starts out.
So is cornhole like a big thing in bars? Like I've never been in a bar and seen people playing cornhole in the bar. Am I missing something here? Like I just uncultured?
Yes, you are uncultured. No, it's a huge thing. I mean, they're
like indoors.
You don't have any friends. I have indoors and outdoors. They have indoor cornhole leagues that go along all year, and they just just have an open space and just toss your beanbags at the little ramp there. Try to get it on the ramp or in the hole. Easy as that. So nice, easy game. You can sit there, drink a beer, and toss your bags over. But yeah, it's a big thing. Cornhole leagues all over. I have a bunch of friends who are in them.
So is beer pong still allowed? It's like you've got a drink in your hand, right? Maybe like a Cuomo log or something on your plate. And
beer pong. I have not seen beer pong in an actual bar in a while, except for this one bar I went to Ithaca in college, and I'm not totally sure it was legal for them to do that. I have no idea. It kind of felt a little unauthorized. What would the
rules against it be besides having a good time?
Against beer pong or against?
Beer pong.
I mean, I imagine beer, it depends on how you're playing, right? If you're playing with the actual beer in the cup and you're throwing your filthy ping pong ball into the cups and then drinking it. No one should do that. I'm not saying I haven't played it. I'm just saying that like I could understand why that's a bit gross,
Well, if you
particularly
put the
now.
right alcohol in there, it just cleans it up for you.
Yeah, we ain't doing that with like natty ice, and that's you're drinking like Keystone Light when you're doing that type of stuff, or maybe Jenny Light if you're around here. Again, the area where I'm from is all Utica Club, and that was I'm not sure that it would be killing coronavirus germs when you're tossing it into that.
A little too watered down.
No, for sure. But you got these other games like you're not really seeing beer pong, but cornhole, darts too, same thing. Like you don't even need to be standing near each other. I know you're touching the darts or whatever, but my goodness, you're touching doors and whatnot too.
Like
yeah,
you
keep your own
have
darts.
Separate darts.
Yeah, why not? Or like have like hand wipes or something, right? Like I feel like there's a way to do this safely. Cuomo, let's play darts.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna talk about this a little bit more. I think explore all of. I can't. So, you guys, if you're listening to this, tell me what the next thing Cuomo is going to ban in the bars, in the restaurants, at home, whatever. Send us a message. Give us a call. We'll be back in a moment on Radio Free New York.
An hour?
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whenever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Escape from the everyday to a getaway at Woodcliff Hotel and Spa. Woodcliff features elegantly appointed accommodations, creative cuisine, themed suites, full-service spa Elan, and is Rochester's best venue for outdoor wedding receptions overlooking the city skyline. Woodcliff Hotel and Spa, where the experience is extraordinary. Located in Fairport, call 585-381-4000 or visit woodcliffhotelspa.com.
A reminder from Abate Monroe County. American bikers aim toward education. Distracted driving is dangerous, so pull over and eat. Don't try to read your mail and newspaper, and stay off your cell phone. Make a mental note to be more alert, making it a habit to expect the unexpected. Remember to look twice. Save a life. Train yourself to watch for motorcycles which are harder to see. Join Abate, and your family will be protected with a free $4,000 accident policy. Ride safe. Ride free. Ride often. Abate. If you ride with us. Google Abate Monroe County.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to Simple Tech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that Simple Tech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at Simple Tech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at Simple Tech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
You're listening to Radio Free New York.
Hey guys, welcome back to Radio Free New York. I'm your host, Andrew Hollister. We've got Kevin Wilson here and we're just talking about Cuomo killing all the fun. But before we talk more about that, let's go to some of the comments here. We've got some comments on that platform that banned me, Facebook here. Chase says that she was banned for sexual exploitation of herself because apparently you can exploit yourself. Yeah, Facebook will ban you for just about anything nowadays, I think. In fact, they not only ban people for stuff, but they even like blacklist certain links. So if you go and post them, they just delete it. Actually, Kevin, didn't you have an example of that?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
tried that, right?
Yeah. Back in the day, well, we spent a show on it. KamalaHarris.info for a while was blacklisted. If you try to post it, it would say it would not let you do it. So they eventually fixed that, and you can post it now. But there's also things like you couldn't post a link or share a link in Messenger related to like 3D printed guns. Like there was I forget, it was Defense Distributed had like their website that had like the drawings and the plans for a 3D printed gun, and you couldn't share those too. So they'll do that stuff.
Yeah, and those are just the ones we know about. I mean, like,
I'm
who
sure
knows how many other things have been, taken down or not able to be shared. Matt on Facebook says that Radio Social has indoor cornhole. So there you go.
Apparently.
That's a nice local place
Well,
in
not no
Rochester.
more. Yeah, right. That's right in my neighborhood, but apparently they probably won't be able to do that. They'll just have their bowling and whatever else King Cuomo lets them. I don't know if they can't do darts. I don't know if they can do their skee ball. Not sure if they can do ping pong.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll just open up a black market cornhole festival. It's just
Well, actually, so one of the guys I interviewed a couple weeks ago, Tim O'Connor, who is running for Senate in I think the 51st District, New York State Senate, he is hosting a cornhole and dancing party. So they're going to go just like meet up in a park and play cornhole and dance, which isn't illegal because they're not a bar, but they're going to go and just do this activity that is now banned if you are an establishment selling alcohol.
Yeah. I see Nate on YouTube is asking if we saw that celebrities get an exemption for the VMA from quarantining for 30 days. I'm so sick of Cuomo's double standards. No, I didn't know about that. Did you know about that, Kevin?
I did know about that, yeah. So, yeah, if you're coming in for the VMAs, yeah, you're fine. You don't need to do that 30-day quarantine. Or is it 30? I think it was 14.
Days.
14,
yeah,
but
he said 30, but I think he meant 14. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like when you sit down at a restaurant and you have a beer there, but then they put a plate of French fries in front of you, and the COVID just runs away. That's
exactly what happens.
It's just all the COVID, it just goes away. So the VMA must have that same thing. Like this COVID can't get there.
Yeah, no, if you're a celebrity attending this in New York, then like you're not going to bring COVID with you, and you're not going to get it there. That's how it works. It's fine.
Do you think we could get government issued exemptions from COVID, where Cuomo just says, you know what, you just can't have it. Government says so, and then we won't get it.
Yeah, that's how it works. That's how we got rid of all the bad guns.
Yeah.
The government said you're not allowed to have them, and then no one did. Problem
wait,
solved.
That's Kevin. Yeah, wow, we should just outlaw COVID. That's what it is.
Man.
Why
don't we think of that?
COVID-free zones. If we could outlaw COVID and have COVID-free zones, there you go.
Problem solved. All right. Governor Cuomo, if you're listening to this, that's the next plan. Just ban it.
Stop
you know how to
banning
do that.
cornhole at bars and darts and all this other stuff. Just use the executive powers. Just write a new executive order. COVID is not allowed in New York. It's banned. And there will be COVID-free zones. COVID-free zones at the schools to keep the children safe.
Of course.
I think this is a brilliant plan. I don't know why nobody's proposed it.
I don't know why either.
No, I just.
No, but I don't know. It like every time like just a new set of rules comes out, I'm like, man, where'd this come from? I just use some common sense in some of the stuff. If you're playing darts, just wash your hands afterwards. You can wash off the darts. If you're playing pool, same thing. Just, you can clean off the pool sticks if you want to. That's the courteous thing to do. Wash your hands before you eat. Maybe, before, after you go bowling or after you play darts or whatever, before you eat some chicken wings, Wash your hands first. Stuff you should be doing anyway. Just go do that. And you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah, I gotta say, has Cuomo rolled back on chicken wings aren't food yet, or is he holding steady on that stance?
No, he did roll that back. I think there's a secession crisis brewing in Western New York, and to quash that, he's like, okay, I take it back. Chicken wings are substantial food.
It's funny because when you read the definition of a sandwich in New York, I don't know if we talked about this when this happened, but he said, no, chicken wings aren't food. You can have a sandwich. The sandwich, as defined by the New York State Department of Taxation, I think it was, is a roll or a slice of bread or even just half a bagel. And so, if you compare that to a plate of like 12 wings and you're trying to say that, a plate of wings isn't food, but half a bagel is food, it's pretty rough.
Maybe. I mean, I could count it as a sandwich, sure. But, that begs the question then. Does New York State think a hot dog is a sandwich?
It's a good question. It has a roll.
Do you think a hot dog's a sandwich? Yeah, it has a roll.
It's got, we should look up the tax code and see if hot dogs are taxable as food or not.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. New York State's going to find a way to tax them. I don't know if there's a special sandwich tax. I have no idea. There might be, for all I know. I don't
it just probably falls under prepared food.
Prepared food, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's specific taxes on specific foods except for like alcohol. But alcohol's not a food, I guess.
No, doesn't count. And it's so funny. Every time I go to like a bar now, they're just like, oh, can I get the this Pilsner or whatever? And they're like, per New York State rule, you have to order a substantial food item and they're always so annoyed every time they have to bring it up. I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay, like give me whatever the cheapest thing you have. Like that's it. And they always have something that's like very cheap that technically counts.
Yeah, I went to one place and they had like half a grilled cheese sandwich. It was really good. It was a really good half a grilled cheese sandwich. Like, I almost wanted the other half. So
it's pretty solid. I'm like, can I go somewhere and buy like a single chicken wing?
Yeah, exactly.
If that's substantive now, is that fine? Or does it have to be like a half dozen wings to count as a substantive meal?
Yeah, but then I went to another restaurant, just to like have a drink with a friend. And so I sit down and they're like, yeah, you can't have drinks without food. And I'm like, no, I get that. That's the thing. Do you guys have like, Cuomo menu or Cuomo logs or anything? And he looked at me like so angrily through his mask. It was like, we don't play games like that. You have to order real food off the menu.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, yeah, he was like deeply offended that I asked if they were doing what like every other bar in the city is doing.
Yeah, everyone's doing. And I've seen like some, they're like, we have hard-boiled eggs. Eggs count as a substantive meal apparently, so they'll give you hard-boiled eggs. They're not supposed to do a chips thing anymore, I guess.
But you can't get the 4 chips for $1 or 50 cents or something.
Yeah, I guess that's not really counting anymore. But again, it's all arbitrary, right? Like, you know what? You're not anymore at risk, by not ordering food. I mean, if the intention of it was so that you're sitting down, right? So if that's what the intention is, then just tell people they have to have table service only, which is what they do in and I think they're requiring in a lot of bars now. Not all of them, but they say you have to do table service.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nope. It's got to happen at table. They can do some bar and countertop in some breweries, but no dancing, including no dancing at weddings, was supposedly a thing for a little bit. Music is sort of allowed, but it's only small performances.
Oh no!
And you can't be standing.
Music, Kevin. That's gonna be the new thing. Cuomo's gonna say that music won't be allowed in the bar anymore. That's what it's gonna be. It's how he's gonna squash the fun next.
Yeah. No, it's still allowed for now. Our king is generous after all. He's not a total tyrant. Just says that you have to be sitting and you have to be 12 feet from patrons.
12 feet? That was 6.
No,
Wow.
12 feet. Because you're singing,
all
probably. I don't know. I'm
the
not.
singing.
Listen,
Maybe
don't look for
because you're,
justifications in this. It's not.
the COVID while you project your voice. Makes sense. Okay, I got it. Guys, you're listening to Radio Free New York. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment.
Now, more than twice the power. More powerful FM 92.1, FM 95.5 West, and 1040 AM WYSL Avon Rochester.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. Noticeably cooler, less humid weather moves in. Nice refreshing breeze off the lake. Temps in the 50s and low 60s on Wednesday. A nice day in the 70s with some sunshine. Got to keep an eye out Wednesday night late. Strong to severe storms may roll in. And it could be an active weather day Thursday, turning much more humid with a chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms. I'm Rich Cornelia on WYSL.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Evidence points to the COVID-19 scare contributing to an increase in abortion. The negative economic impact, including massive job losses, intensified the anxieties faced by pregnant women. Even under normal circumstances, health and financial pressures put women at risk for abortion. During the lockdown, abortion was considered an essential service. A CBS News story noted increased demand for abortion at abortion facilities. An ABC News story noted a 35% increase in requests for assistance for abortion funds. The Florida Agency for Healthcare Administration reported a 3.5% increase in abortion for 2020 over 2019 for the time period of January through June. The data only suggests a trend and may not actually represent a national increase in abortion rates. What is clear, however, is that choices made out of fear of the unknown often result in poor outcomes. For a full transcript, go to realabortionnews.com. This Real Abortion News Update is sponsored by Compass Care.
This is Bob Lucky, Western New York correspondent for News 1040 AM. From Batavia to Niagara Falls, Buffalo to Jamestown, if it happens in Western New York, you'll hear about it on News 1040 AM.
Genesee Country Village and Museum welcomes kids ages 12 and under free every Thursday in August. Enjoy plenty of fun activities in the historic village focused on outdoors and large spaces, including tours with animals on the farm, demonstrations from the Potter and Tinsmith, plus games on the village square. Visit new exhibits at the Whaley Gallery or hike the Nature Center trails. Lunch and ice cream available at the Depot Restaurant. Have a fun family day at Genesee Country Village and Museum with kids free Thursdays in August. Special distancing measures in place. Visit gcv.org.
Come home to calm, quiet, and beautiful Woodgate Apartments and Townhomes in Spencerport. Just minutes from downtown Rochester. Choose from 1 or 2 bedroom apartments or 2 or 3 bedroom 2-floor townhomes in an historic canal village featuring nearby restaurants and shopping. You'll appreciate the balconies, patios, and beautiful pool. The townhomes include an attached garage. Come take a tour and meet our friendly and knowledgeable on-site staff, Cedar Circle in Spencerport, or visit WoodgatePlaceAPTS.com to learn more.
Take it, Tony.
How's that, Zach?
Terrific, man. Hold on. Hello?
Honey, we need central air, but everyone I call says we have to wait weeks.
What's a skinny, Zach?
We want to get central air, but no one has equipment in stock.
Taylor does. They have systems ready to install today. Just call 500-HELP.
500-HELP? Now that's a cool number.
I think I'm really getting it, man.
Call Taylor, 500-HELP. As the word tells us that all things are to be done decently and in order, we all have a desire to be more organized. Get Organized has been helping their clients effectively organize their living spaces with custom closets, pantries, garage storage systems, and more for over 30 years. Get Organized can be reached online at www.closetsrochester.com or by phone at 585-223-3646. Get Organized with closetsrochester.com today.
WYSL.
The Community Health Worker Program offers supportive, confidential home visits to help you with breastfeeding, a birth plan, health insurance, keeping your child healthy, birth control options, and labor and delivery questions. Call 243-7299. That's 243-7299. This program produced with funding from the New York State Department of Health, a division of Family Health.
You're listening to Radio Free New York.
All right, welcome back to Radio Free New York. I'm your host, Andrew Hollister. We've got Kevin Wilson here with us. Kevin, I think we should talk about Jacob Blake.
Yeah, no, we could talk about that. That's kind of broken over the last couple days, that story going on there. Do you want to explain what happened there, or you want me to cover it?
Yeah, so I read quite a bit about it today. And there's some conflicting stories, but I think the conflicting stories were like the initial stories. It seems like stuff is kind of like solidifying a little bit now. But as I understand it, he was a security guard. And it seems like he was at his home, his apartment complex. Does that sound right to you, Kevin?
Yeah, and there's a fight going on.
Yeah, so there's a fight going on. So he pulls over his truck. His kids are in the car. Being a security guard, he goes to break up this fight. And somehow in the midst of this, the police show up. And he gets kind of like apprehended or maybe even attacked by the police, and then when he's let go, he like goes back into his vehicle, or towards his vehicle anyways, where his children are, and gets shot in the back 7 times.
Yeah,
by the officer. Like, and this is like I've watched like multiple videos of this and like multiple different angles, and some of the cell phone footage is just awful. Some of it's better.
Yeah, it's tough to see. Yeah. Like there's one video going around that's probably the most clear and short, and it shows 3 officers pointing his gun at Jacob Blake, and he's kind of walking around his car, and he was going in, like he had his keys in his hand, he was going to go, like, I don't know what he was going to do, but he was walking towards his car, but they kind of grab him by his shirt, and then they shoot him in the back 7 times as he's like opening his driver's side door. Yeah. So not a good way to end that situation in any sense. But there's other videos before that are really hard to see, as you mentioned, and it looks like he was like kind of in the middle of this fight. It wasn't him in the fight, it was him trying to separate 2 people who were in a fight, according to witnesses there. So this is in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and this guy survived. He is still alive. He is apparently unable to walk, from a story I read this morning, but he is still alive, despite getting shot in the back 7 times by police officers. So, yeah, that's pretty terrible. I mean, I look at these situations and, kind of the same thing I've said about other ones is, this isn't a good escalation of force. This isn't how we want incidents to end. It seems like he was kind of caught up in a bad situation and just trying to like step out of there, maybe get his kids out of there. We'll find more information about that soon, instead of escalating to the point of, if the police did think that this guy was part of the situation somehow, couldn't they have detained him in a more effective way?
Yeah, and that's I think is really important to look at, especially as more information comes out. Since I'm not on Facebook, I don't actually see what people are saying about this. I don't know if people are trying to justify his death and say, oh, yeah,
well, he's still alive.
This or that. Oh, go ahead, Kevin.
He's still alive.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're right. I'm just still at the point where getting shot 7 times in the back, I would assume you don't make it. Like that's like a like kind of a tremendous thing that he's alive. Um, but I wonder if people will sit here and try to justify the officer's actions, and I can't sit here in any way and think that that isn't in any way an appropriate use of force, regardless of the situation. That you would get shot in the back at what looked like nearly point blank range.
Oh yeah, no, the officer's holding his shirt while he did it.
Yeah, like it was just like so close. This guy's just arm on his back, pumping rounds into him. The fact that he survived is once again like just tremendous. But also, at what point in any time would that level of force ever be okay? And I think that that's the question that we all need to be asking ourselves right now is, would that ever be okay? I can't think of a single time that would ever be okay.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in this situation, I understand that there's an escalated response on part of police officers. They're trying to figure out what's going on. They don't know. I want to be empathetic to that, but also we expect, and I think citizens deserve, police officers to keep their situation under control, and to make sure that someone who isn't familiar with what police are doing and how they're going to react isn't going to get shot because they make a small mistake. If he's just trying to walk away from the situation, or check on his kids or whatever he's trying to do, that person doesn't deserve to die. And again, this person didn't die, but he very well could have. It's surprising that he didn't. And yeah, in situations like this, I am also frustrated by the fact that by a national issue of qualified immunity, which is to say that the police officers in this situation not only may not be held criminally liable if they are found to have acted inappropriately in this situation, and I kind of feel like they did, but also they can't be found civilly liable unless there's a pre-existing case of this already happening in which a judgment was rendered that was found to have violated someone's constitutional rights. So unless this exact same scenario happened somewhere else, the family can't even get compensation for what is likely to be years and years and years of therapy in medical bills, because who knows if this Jacob Blake is even going to be able to walk again.
Yeah. Now, do we know, is he in critical condition? Is he in guarded condition? Is he expected to survive, or is that totally unknown?
Last time I saw, he was in critical condition, so it's not guaranteed that he's going to make it. Yeah, and I do see a comment online too from Justine. It says the only way this officer is not going to jail is if he saw a firearm when the guy reached to his car. Maybe. I mean, the officers can say they saw a firearm, and if a reasonable person could be seen to believe that, then yeah, the officer might not get charged in this situation. And there are folks online, because I'm still on Facebook, I'm seeing it, who are saying oh, he was carrying a knife, he had something in his hand, which may have been his keys, or why was he going into his car? So people trying to justify this in all sorts of different ways, and again, it's hard to know. If I'm in that situation, I don't know exactly how I'm going to react if I'm absolutely terrified, because that's not what I'm trained for. That's not what I do. So am I going to accidentally do something stupid? Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing is, when gun control advocates specifically try to take away our rights, they say the only people that should have firearms are the police because they're trained to be correct in these interactions. And it doesn't look that way.
No. I mean, we would expect if they were not police officers, if a private citizen acted this way and shot Mr. Blake in this way, they would absolutely be going to jail. Zero question at all.
Yeah, 100%.
But instead, we're in a situation where, who knows? I mean, the officers have been suspended from what I understand. And yeah, we'll see what ends up going on with it. But of course, there's going to be a Wisconsin Department of Justice criminal investigation in there. There's probably going to be a National Department of Justice criminal investigation related to this. So we'll see kind of what comes of those things as well. But again, thinking about use of force continuum, I can't imagine that they should jump from he's walking away to shooting him 7 times while holding on to him.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is the fact that the officer is that close. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you'll never know not being in the moment, but there's just so many things that reach out to me as I watch that video that it just really feels like it could have been avoided. And I don't know what was going through that officer's mind. I don't know what was happening at the scene, but it didn't look good. It looked really, really, really bad. And it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this, because the riots, people have started rioting over it again. Torching cars and destroying property, and so it's a bad situation. Guys, we're gonna take a break, and I don't know. We'll see where we pick up the discussion. Maybe we'll pick this up. Maybe we'll talk about something else. We're going to take a brief break here. You're listening to Radio Free New York. We'll be back in a moment.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
If you're looking to market and grow your business, make new business connections, and give back to the community in a meaningful way, consider joining the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're the largest suburban chamber in Monroe County, and we offer networking, education, marketing, insurance, and advocacy. You do not need to live or work in Greece to join. Our members come from throughout the region. In short, we're better together, and together, we're moving business forward. Visit greecechamber.org or call 585-227-7272 to join today.
A reminder from Abate Monroe County. American bikers aim toward education. Distracted driving is dangerous, so pull over and eat. Don't try to read your mail and newspaper, and stay off your cell phone. Make a mental note to be more alert, making it a habit to expect the unexpected. Remember to look twice. Save a life. Train yourself to watch for motorcycles which are harder to see. Join Abate, and your family will be protected with a free $4,000 accident policy. Ride safe. Ride free. Ride often. Abate. If you ride with us. Google Abate Monroe County.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at SimpleTech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, SimpleTech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Radio Free New York.
All right, welcome back to Radio Free New York. I'm your host, Andrew Hollister. We've got Kevin Wilson here with us. We're talking about the Jacob Blake shooting, and now we're kind of talking just a little bit about the aftermath, because there's more rioting, there's more looting, there's more violence. Kevin, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, no, there's a bit more of that stuff going on, and it's sad and unfortunate, and I know people are mad, but I never feel like this type of stuff helps at the end, right? I'm not sure that it's going to advance an agenda that would prevent this type of stuff from happening in the future. I think there's going to be a counter-reaction in a lot of this situation. So in Kenosha, there's, protests get kind of broken up with tear gas and flashbang and all that stuff. Excuse me. There was apparently a garbage truck set on fire, and setting a bunch of city vehicles on fire and trying to burn down buildings and whatnot. The curfew over there is kind of a mess. And again, it's a continuation of some of the unrest we've seen in the last few months, and it's really frustrating. Again, I get that people are angry and they deserve to be angry. I don't know that that's the type of action that's going to lead to a good conversation about long-term reform. What I worry about is that people go in the other direction, that people start calling for a restoration of order. And it's going to be interesting to see
heavier police presence, rule of law, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of that even among even among people who are really sympathetic to that. They're like, well, we need police reform, but we got to keep this stuff under control. That type of language. I think I worry that there's going to be a lot more political will for that type of those type of tactics to get people out of the streets. Because people look at situations like Portland, which has had sustained protests for several months now, and there's an added element in Portland. It's not just people protesting the police. You have counter demonstrations of the Proud Boy type guys and really more radical, Blue Lives Matter type of folks who are now engaging in street fighting with each other, and so some of the Proud Boy types, I guess, on the other side of this came in over the weekend, and they were carrying sticks and shields and eggs and pepper spray, and so were the Antifa types. And they're just duking it out, and the police are just letting it happen. And
so we're talking just like an all-out brawl where it looks kind of like the movie 300 and people just running with shields and sticks and beating each other? Or are we talking about people are facing off with a circle of people around them, like Street Fighter style?
I mean, it's not like people are sitting around with two people are just fighting it out. It's not like that. It looks more like a really sad LARPing session.
Oh no.
Yeah, because everyone's got their shields, and you got the Antifa people in black, and then you got the other guys who are dressed up in their t-shirts or whatever, and carrying Trump flags in some cases, and they're just fighting each other. Start punching each other, start spraying each other, start hitting each other, all that type of stuff, and they're chanting back and forth. It's a mess. And again, these situations, when you devolve it in street fighting, people get really anxious. And what do? They want to go to the government for safety.
Yeah.
As a counter-reaction that helps the radicals.
I wonder how many people out there who are anti-gun are now sitting there thinking, I really need a gun to protect myself. I need to have a way to be in charge of my personal protection because the government's not showing up to help me. I wonder how many people are feeling that way.
I think there's a lot. We've seen an increase in gun sales over the last several months, and that's what people are seeing. They're saying, well, the government's not going to protect me. They're not going to protect me from the borderline fascist types who are out here fighting. They're not going to protect me from the Antifa and more radical, elements of the anti-police crowd. And again, I'm sympathetic to some of those arguments, but the type of folks who are smashing in businesses and threatening homes, no, so if you're looking at the situation from the outside, maybe you're sympathetic to reform, maybe you think it's gone too far, you might still be thinking either way, well, how do I defend myself when the government's not going to come in and help me? And the only way to do that is to exercise your Second Amendment right responsibly. And that's what, again, millions of Americans are doing for the first time. They've realized how essential that is in the last several months.
Yeah, I want to say that the number I saw was like 176 or 179% increase in gun sales over the last 3 months.
Huge.
Yeah, and that's nationwide. That's not like in one specific side. I believe that number is nationwide. People are really sitting here and thinking like, maybe the government can't do everything for me. Maybe the government can't protect me. And people are split in two ways. Either one way, they need to protect themselves, or the other way where they're like, I want more government, the most government I can possibly have so that I can feel like guys with guns are going to come protect me.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is that they're not. I mean, it's really like
not happening.
In these situations, what's that like cliche phrase? You know, like when seconds matter, police officers are minutes away.
Yeah.
Or
hours, depending on where you are.
Yeah, right. Depending on where you are. You know, and again, if they're engaged with this type of stuff too, like, you know, how do you protect yourself in this situation? And again, I don't think the right solution is to like have the government come in and save us from these radicals and crack down on free speech and crack down on like demonstrations. No, that's not what's it. But you know, also at the same time, you know, I think reasonable folks can look at these situations and be like, all right, well, if you're actually doing acts of violence, then there does need to be some intervention in that, right? Like that's as soon as you start hurting people, you know, libertarians say, you know, don't hurt people, don't take their stuff. If you're doing one or both of those, okay, that's the legitimate action of the government to intervene in that situation. So let's keep things to discussion. Let's keep things to, you know, actual peaceful protest. And unfortunately, you know, we're at a point where the government is sometimes standing by, sometimes escalating, and these various groups of radicals who have their own agenda, and it's on the far left and the far right, they're coming in and making the situation much worse, creating instability, and creating a less desirable life for those of us who just want to be left alone.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, and I think that it's important to point out that, you know, once things escalate to violence and damage of property, people stop hearing your message. And that, like, I talked about this on 4th of July, and some people are like very upset with me because I talked about how the beginning of our country had to start with an escalation of violence, and people weren't really ready to hear that because of what's going on currently. And it was kind of interesting because I say this every 4th of July, but this year specifically, people were extremely sensitive to it because they're seeing violence in their streets, they're seeing it at their places of work, they're seeing it at their homes, and they're feeling like very specifically like, oh yeah, like maybe violence isn't a good thing, you know? And it's one thing in concept, but it's a whole different thing to see it. And, you know, once things escalate to that point, it's hard to get people to listen.
Yeah, and of course, and you're right. Like there's a time when that has to happen. You know, it should be considered very carefully. You know, but yeah, we're seeing some of this escalate, and it's nasty factions on both sides in some situations, and a lot of well-meaning people in between who are just like, can't we just have better police and, you know, just go from there?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? I think, you know, most of this really does get fixed by having significantly smaller government.
Absolutely.
Better power given to the people, more responsibility given back to the people. You know, for generations, we've outsourced our responsibility to the government, and now everybody's shocked that the government's not being responsible with it. It's something that's going to take a long time to fix and a long time to convince people how to fix it. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here on Radio Free New York. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow.
At Victor Chevrolet, we want you to know we are here for your transportation needs. Our factory-trained specialist in the Victor Service Department can expertly handle any repair. Our concierge service can arrange for pickup and delivery of your vehicle if you choose. We are here for repairs, maintenance, inspections, warranty work, and recalls. Victor Chevrolet can help no matter where you bought your car or truck. And if you need a new vehicle, Victor can sell you a car virtually on our website, victorchevrolet.com, or at our store. Call 869-6196. Trade-ins, financing, leasing. They're all available remotely and at your convenience. We're here to fully serve Chevy customers in Victor, Canandaigua, Macedon, Fairport, and throughout the Metro and Finger Lakes. Depend